Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Do you struggle with English grammar? Ever get confused about when to use but, yet, or although? Well, you don't need to search anymore. This is the only video you'll ever need to master conjunctions, explained simply, with easy examples. Whether you're preparing for competitive exams, improving your spoken English, or just brushing up your skills, this lesson covers everything. Stay with me till the end, and I guarantee you'll understand conjunctions like never before. So let's get started. When using conjunctions in pairs, it's important to use the correct pair. For example, either or, although yet, neither nor, no sooner than, whether or, lest should, both and, else but, not only but also, hardly when, scarcely when, as, so as, to, so that, between and, from to, other than, rather than, such that, same that or as.
Now let's discuss all the conjunctions one by one in detail. But, to show contrast, to introduce an exception. The food looked delicious but tasted horrible. Contrast, delicious, horrible contrast. I can go anywhere but your home. Exception, your home is an exception. Both and. To link two elements, emphasizing that both are involved. Both the cake and the cookies were delicious. Both items were equally delicious. As, to show role or cause. As it was cold, I wore a jacket. Cause. I am working as a manager role. As well as, to add one thing to another, often with a focus on both elements. When, as well as, with, along with, and not, in addition to, but, besides, except, rather than, accompanied by, joins two subjects in a sentence. The helping verb agrees with the first subject. Example. He, as well as you, is tired of this work. He is in the third person singular number, and as such, it takes a singular verb. As far as, defines the range or boundary of something. As far as I know, she is married. The range is limited to what the speaker knows. As soon as. One action happens immediately after another. As soon as, or the moment he came, I left. Here, as soon as and the moment are subordinating conjunctions that connect two clauses, showing that one action, I left, happened immediately after another. Leave as soon as possible. In this sentence, as soon as possible is a phrase that means at the earliest possible time. Or, to present an alternative or choice between two options. Stay here or go away. There are two options. One is staying here, and the other is going away. Otherwise or else. To indicate a consequence or result if something is not done or happens differently. I will work hard otherwise, or else I will fail. It expresses that failure is the direct consequence of not working hard. Lest, should. Implies an action to avoid a negative outcome. I'll work hard lest I should fail. Failing is a negative outcome. The speaker intends to work hard to prevent failing. Provided. Introduces a condition that must be met for something to happen. Provided is always followed by a sentence in the present indefinite tense. She agreed to help, provided he asked politely. The word provided sets the condition for her agreeing to help.
So that emphasizes intensity followed by a result. Structure. So plus adjective or adverb plus that plus result. I was so happy. Replace so with very. It is so expensive that I cannot buy it. So expensive emphasizes the extremely high cost of the item. That I cannot buy it shows the consequence of such high expense. The speaker cannot afford it. So that, purpose. She whispered so that no one would hear. What is purpose of whispering? Her purpose is to prevent anyone from hearing her. As if, as though. Something appears or is perceived, even if it may not be true. Use simple past tense for unreal comparison. Use plural verb for it. Use present perfect tense for a situation that is likely possible. He started scolding me as if he were my boss. In this case, the speaker is not actually his boss, but behavior is being compared to that of a boss.
For as, because, since, to show reason or cause. Use because in the middle, since beginning. Use for or as in the middle or at the beginning. Use a comma before for if used in the middle. I left the house because as I was bored. Because or as in the middle. Since as, for I was bored, I left the house. Being bored was the reason for leaving the house.
I left the house for I was bored. Here, the word for is used in the middle of the sentence, and there is a comma before it. Don't use because with the reason why. The reason why they got married is because they love each other. Remove because. Correct version. The reason why they got married is they love each other.
Either or, to present a choice between two options. Use one of if more than two things are present. When using either or, neither nor, or not only but also in a sentence, the verb must agree with the subject that is closest to it. She is one of my friends. There may be more than two friends. There is no mention of just two. Either the cat or the dogs are playing outside. Nearest subject, dogs. Dogs are plural. So use plural verb. Either the dogs or the cat is playing outside. Nearest subject, cat. Cat is singular. So use singular verb. Neither nor. Linked two related negative ideas or actions. Indicate that two things are not true. Use none of if more than two things are present. None of the students was absent today. There is no mention of just two students, so use none of. Neither my colleagues nor my boss is going there. Boss is singular, so use singular verb. Neither my boss nor my colleagues are going there. Colleagues are plural, so use plural verb. Yet as yet, till now, so far, by now. Something has not happened up to a specific point in time, but is expected to happen. Use present perfect tense with yet. He hasn't arrived yet. He is not here yet, but he is expected to arrive. Also, even, either as well, too. Something is in addition to what has already been mentioned. Use also after the helping verb and before the verb. Use to as well and either at the end of the sentence. Use even at the beginning of the sentence. Also, to, as well. These are generally used in positive sentences. I am good too. To at the end. I am also good. Also after the helping verb and before the main verb. I am good as well at the end. Even I am good, even at the beginning. Even I am not good. I am not good either. Wouldn't you like that either? These are negative sentences. So, try to avoid using also to and as well. To means something is so extreme that it prevents action. Structure: to plus adjective or adverb plus to plus V1. It is too expensive for me to buy it. To emphasizes that the expense is excessive. To conveys the action the speaker is unable to do. And to connect words, phrases, or clauses that are similar, related, or sequential. When and connects verbs, they follow the same verb form, like tense aspect or voice of the verb. Here are some rules. 2 singular subjects, plural verb. 2 plural subjects, plural verb. Multiple subjects, plural verb. 1 singular and 1 plural subject, plural verb. 2 singular subjects referring to the same person or thing, singular verb. I love reading books and exploring nature. Reading books and exploring nature both are in gerund form. Here, the same form of the verb is used because of the use of and. Not only, but also. To emphasize 2 related ideas, highlighting both equally. She's not only intelligent, but also creative. The sentence emphasizes that the subject is both intelligent and creative, with no hierarchy or comparison between the 2 qualities. Still, even now, action or state remains unchanged. Use still after the helping verb and before the main verb. Use even now at the end. He refuses to apologize even now. His attitude hasn't changed. Despite time or pressure, he stays firm in his decision not to apologize. She is still waiting for the bus. The word still indicates that her action of waiting remains unchanged and is continuing from an earlier point in time. He still refuses to apologize. Same example. While even now is used at the end, still is placed after the helping verb and before the main verb. That's the difference. So, hence, that's why, therefore, that's the reason, henceforth. To introduce a result or conclusion. I went hence or henceforth, or that's why, or that's the reason, or therefore, or so you came. The sentence implies a cause and effect relationship, where my going resulted in your coming. No sooner than. One action happens immediately after another. No sooner had I reached than they arrived, meaning I reached the station and immediately after that the train left. Not, nor, neither. To combine 2 negative ideas or actions indicate that 2 things are not true. I don't go there, nor neither does he. I don't go there. Negative. He also doesn't go there. Negative. Nor or neither is used to combine them. Whereas while contrasts 2 ideas or situations. He prefers coffee, whereas or while she likes tea. Here, while or whereas show a contrast between his and her preferences. The verb follows while is always used in the ing form. Example, he is studying while walking. Orient. While walking, he is studying. If. Something is true or will happen under certain conditions. Structure. If plus. Past indefinite or past perfect plus would. Use this structure for an unreal or hypothetical situation. If I were you, I would have done it. Unreal. It imagines a hypothetical scenario where you are someone else. If plus present indefinite plus will. Use this structure for a real or possible situation. If I go, I will meet him. If I go. This is the condition, if clause, describing a possible action in the future. I will meet him. This is the result, main clause, describing what will happen if the condition is met. Don't use then with if or when.
Unless until introduces a condition that prevents main action from occurring. Use until for time. Use unless for condition. Always use present indefinite or past indefinite tense with unless and until. Do not use will, would, shall with until and unless. Not is not used with until and unless. Until he doesn't comes, you don't go. Remove doesn't. The correct form is, until he comes, you don't go. You should stay and not leave until he arrives. Many times, until and unless are used together to emphasize words, although their meanings are almost the same. I won't decide until and unless I hear from you. Both until and unless are used together for strong emphasis, meaning that a decision will not be made before and without the condition of hearing from the other person. Till, as long as by the time, highlights the requirement or length of time for an action or state. Always use present indefinite or past indefinite tense with these conjunctions. Don't start a sentence with till. Example, I will wait till 6 a.m. The sentence, I will wait till 6 a.m. shows how long the waiting will last. It means the speaker will wait until 6 a.m. and stop then. Till shows the time limit for waiting.
Doubt, doubtful, if whether. Lack of confidence in the possibilities or truth of something happening. Use if or whether in affirmative sentences. Use that with doubt or doubtful in negative or interrogative sentences. He doubts if whether she will help him. Affirmative sentence, so if or whether is used, he is uncertain about the possibility of her helping him. I do not doubt that she will succeed. I'm confident about her success. I do not. A negative sentence, so in this case, that is used.
Whether or introduces two possibilities. Whether she comes or not, I will go. The sentence introduces two possibilities, and the speaker's decision to go is independent of these possibilities. The same as that. Compare two things and indicate that they are identical. As is used after the same when the verb is not clear. This is the same book as mine. The verb is not clear here, so use as. The book is identical to the speaker's book. He gave me the same book that I wanted. Here the verb is clear, so use that. Same book, identical book.
Hardly, scarcely, when. One event quickly follows another, with little time in between. Structure: had plus subject plus V3, or did plus subject plus V1. Don't use not with hardly, scarcely. Hardly, scarcely had she stepped outside when it began to rain. Here, one event, her stepping outside, quickly followed by another, the rain starting, with very little time in between. Hardly did I see him when I stopped my car. The use of hardly when emphasizes that there was almost no gap between seeing him and stopping the car. Don't use that with WH family. I don't know that where he is. Remove that. Correct version: I don't know where he is.
From, to, or between and, to indicate starting or ending point. Use between and when discussing about choices. The meeting will be held between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. The meeting will be held from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Same sentences. Starting point 9 a.m., ending point 11 a.m., and is used with between, and to is used with from. You must choose between right and wrong. You must select one option from two opposing choices, right or wrong. So, in this case, between and is used.
Although, though, even if. Contrasts with the main statement. Although it rains, Yet we will go for a walk. Yet we will go for a walk is the main clause. Although it rains is the subordinate clause that provides contrast. The decision to go for a walk will still happen. Though he worked hard, yet he failed. Even though it's raining, I'm still going for a walk. Same structure as the previous sentence. Even if it rains, I'm going for a walk. Even if it rains is a hypothetical scenario. The rain is not real, it's the speaker's imagination. The speaker considers the possibility of real rain and still plans to act. Rather than, to show preference for one thing over another. I would rather go for a walk than stay indoors. The speaker is choosing walking outside over staying indoors. Other than, to refer to something different from a particular thing. I like all colors other than red. Red is the only color the speaker doesn't prefer. Red is different from the speaker's choice.
Okay, that's all for today. I hope today's lesson was helpful to you. If you have any doubts, feel free to let me know in the comments. Subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any videos from this series. Thank you.